Okay, so thanks for coming in today, Devin. I know that some of the things you saw yesterday were traumatic, but we're just going to take it slow. You can tell me everything that happened in your own words and how you saw it. But first off, let's just tell me a little bit about yourself, and then we'll go into what you did beforehand and then as the incident occurred.
Okay, yeah, no problem. My name is Devin Paul Bradley. I live on 32 Main Street in Niagara Falls. I play basketball, like, as my hobbies. I'm really into sports. And other than that, not too much other than the fact that I'm enrolled at Mohawk College.
Oh, awesome.
Yep.
What are you taking at Mohawk?
I'm taking Protection, Security, and Investigations. It's like a 2-year degree course, kind of similar to like police auditions. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So you want to be a police officer?
Or? Yeah, that's the goal at the end of the day, yeah.
Nice. That's awesome. Well, I can tell you it's a good career.
Yeah, it definitely seems that way.
Who's your favorite basketball team?
Oh, I'm a Raptors fan.
For sure. First place.
Oh, yeah, you gotta know that. It's the year. This is the year, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. What else do you do in your free time?
I like to stay fit. Like, I go to the gym a lot. I read from time to time. But outside of school and, like, my hobbies, I don't have, like, a lot of free time for other things, so.
Yeah, okay. Cool. Awesome. So, just let's rewind before the event actually happened. I know it was early in the morning, so what did you do before, like the night before?
So just the night before, I got home. I had a lot of class that day, so I got home. I believe it was like around 6, and I made some dinner. I had pasta that night, just some like Alfredo and shrimp stuff, and then after that, I had an early class the next day at 8 a.m. So I called it early around 10 p.m. after watching some Family Guy for a bit on Netflix.
Mm-hmm. So, you went to bed at what time?
Like around 10 p.m.
Okay. And then, so you were awake at when the incident occurred, and that was before 8 o'clock. So what were you doing?
So it initially was before my alarm was set, but I just had randomly woken up in the middle of the night and was very thirsty, so I just went to the kitchen to grab a glass of water.
Okay. What time did you do that?
I woke up around 4:50 and rolled out of bed around like 4:55, 5 a.m.
Okay. So what did you see?
Initially when I got up, like, there was nothing too much going on. I saw just a couple people just approaching my direction, like coming down Main Street. And then after that, I saw 2 individuals coming towards the front of the house, and through my neighbor's window, just through my kitchen window, I was able to see my neighbor Ryan and another female in the house.
Okay. Can you describe what those people look like?
So there was 3 of them. So I believe there was 1 male and 2 females. I can go to the male first. The male was wearing black pants with a green plaid button-up, and I believe it was a white Nike hat. I couldn't see the symbol too well, but I believe it was Nike.
So it was like a sports hat? Or
looked like a golf hat, yeah.
Okay. Did you get a glimpse of him? I know it was a little early, so was he like white guy, black guy, tall, short?
Yeah, I got a decent look at him. He was a white male for sure, and I believe he had a bit like longer hair, medium hair. He didn't look very tall, probably around 5'9", 5'10".
Okay.
He looked like a young adult as well, probably somewhere between 19 and 22.
So you saw 2 females then, right?
Correct.
What did they do? What were they wearing?
So one of the females was wearing, once again, black pants and another plaid button-up, but this one was green. She was also wearing a black beanie and I wasn't able to see hair color or anything like that because of it. But she also looked like a young adult once again, probably around the same age.
Did you, by any chance, see what anything like about her eye color, skin color?
Yeah, sorry. Once again,
Yeah.
yeah, she was Caucasian. She was white. All three of them were white.
Okay. Awesome. And what about the last female that you saw?
The last girl was I'm pretty sure she was wearing a gray crew neck sweater and what looked to be like black leggings, maybe Lululemon. There was no like symbol or anything on them, and she also had long brown curly hair. That was the female that was initially in the house when I first saw her in there.
Okay. And would you say that she was about the same age as the others, or older, younger?
I'd say probably around the same age. They all look kind of like young adults for sure.
Okay. So, what did you see actually occur? You saw them come down the street and approach your neighbor Ryan's house, right?
Mm-hmm.
Once you saw them approaching their house, was there any, talking between them, or did they do anything that stood out in your mind?
Yeah. When I saw the two people initially come up, it did look like they stopped a little bit in front of Ryan's house, and they were a little bit nervous about something. And I may or not have been wrong, but prior to getting into the house, I think I saw one of them with a gun in the front as well.
What one? Did you see that?
I didn't see who was holding it. It was very dark.
So they went into the house eventually, right?
Yeah. The woman that was in the house initially, when I first got the glass of water, I saw her go, and it looked like she unlocked the door for the people at the front. I'm not positive about that, but she did head towards the door, and then all three came towards Ryan together.
Okay. Okay, so they approach Ryan. Did you see or hear anything from that point on?
Yeah. Ryan was he was pretty much out cold. He was asleep when they all came into the house, and then immediately the girl wearing the black pants and the green plaid shirt, she jumped on him, and she was the one that did pull out the gun. After jumping on him, she immediately started swearing and saying, "Shut the fuck up," or all this stuff, "Stay down, be quiet." And after that, they grabbed Ryan, threw him onto the ground on his stomach, and then the one in the green shirt proceeded to yell at the, I'm not positive who taped him up. She started yelling at one of the other people to tape his arms up, so they taped his hands.
They taped his hands with what kind of tape? Did you see that? Or?
Yeah, I'm not positive it was duct. It could have been it was red though. red, and it looked like it may have been a duct tape.
Okay. And were his hands taped in front of him, or were they another way?
They initially grabbed his hands above his head to move him onto the ground, but when they rolled him onto his stomach, they put his arms behind his back and taped his hands that way.
So he was on his stomach on the ground with his hands taped behind his back.
And the girl with her knee on his back as well, yeah.
Okay.
And the gun to his head.
Oh.
Yeah. Should have added that in there.
Okay. So what did they do after they taped him up on the ground?
After they taped him up, they seemed to be rambling. I couldn't hear it too well, but I faintly heard them talk about trying to find something. So I heard briefly, I believe it was the woman in the green, she said he usually sleeps on the stash. So once pulling him off the couch, they got him all taped up, and it looks like they just immediately went right under where he was sleeping on the couch and found exactly what they were looking for.
What did the stash look like?
I had recently figured Ryan had been getting into some like illegal activity. I don't want to throw the bone too far here, but I suspected he may have been a drug dealer.
Mm-hmm.
The bag definitely looked like it could have been carrying some kind of drugs by the way they were aggressively going at it. And there was also cocaine on the table, so that would lead me to believe there might have been drugs in there as well.
What did the stash look like? Was it like you said? It's a bag.
Yeah, it was a zip up. Almost looks like a money pouch. If you ever seen one of those, like a deposit bag.
Yeah.
It was red, and there was I could be wrong, but I believe there was white writing on it, but I can't be sure what it said or anything. I couldn't see.
Okay. So they obviously took the stash of whatever it was, and then were they still in the house after they found it, or did they leave?
They were very quick to leave once they found what they want. They left Ryan taped up and sprinted out of the house, and I heard Ryan say things like, "I'm gonna kill your fucking family," and all that kind of stuff as they were leaving.
Okay. So when they left, did you see which direction they were going? Did they get in a car?
Yeah,
or...
I did. Once I saw them leave the house, I wanted to see which direction they were heading for when I called the police.
Mm-hmm.
So I stepped out my front door, and I heard some rustling going around the backyards between me and Ryan's house. So I saw 3 individuals, I'm assuming the ones that came out of the house, jump over onto a picnic table right over the wood-link fence, and then start heading southbound towards Main Street again, through the backyards, presumably to stay out of sight, I'm guessing. But
it was in your backyard.
yeah, they jumped from Ryan's through my backyard and continued on doing that.
What time was it approximately when they left the house?
I saw them go in around 5. I would say they were in there no longer than 5 minutes. So any time between there.
And at what point did you call the police?
I called the police pretty much after going back inside after seeing which direction they were heading, so around 5:10.
When you called the police, did they send any officers to your house or to the incident?
Yeah, once I told them what was wrong, they had an officer respond immediately, who I gave the information to, everything I saw.
What time did they arrive? Do you know?
Not too much longer after, maybe 10 minutes, so around 5:20, 5:25.
Yeah. Okay. So tell me a little bit about your neighbor Ryan. Do you know? I mean, not everybody speaks to their neighbors, but
Yeah.
just let me know what you think.
I'm not like in too much of a relationship with him in any sense. Like we occasionally wave, say hi, but like I said earlier, yeah, he often has people coming to the house, and I have a great view into there. So I see the stuff he leaves on his table, like cocaine and other drugs and stuff like that. So I'm assuming like whatever he's up to, it probably isn't good.
Is this the first time that you've seen any violent things happen at his house?
Yeah. This is definitely the first time I've seen something even like close to this kind of proportion.
Okay. So I believe that should be everything. Is there anything else that you can think of that you might have?
No, I don't think so. No, that should be about it. The gun, I gotta tell you a little bit more about the gun. I didn't really go too much into depth about that. It just looked like maybe a normal handgun, silver finish. Other than that, though, that's pretty much everything I saw.
You didn't hear any gunshots go off, did you?
I personally didn't hear any gunshots.
Okay. So I'm just gonna skim over just the event in my words, just to see if I guarantee to get everything here.
Yeah, no problem.
So basically, you saw three individuals approaching the front of your neighbor Ryan's house at approximately 5 in the morning.
Yep.
One male, two females, a female in a gray crew neck sweater approached the front door and unlocked it, and then let the two other suspects in.
The woman in the crew neck was already in the house.
Oh, she was already in the
Yeah,
house.
I don't know how she got in there. Sorry, I should have been more clear about that. That's my fault.
No problem. So let me go over it again. So she was in the house with Brian before this incident happened. So there was two people coming to the front door.
Correct. Yeah.
Those two people were let in by the girl that was in the house.
Yeah.
The gray crew neck.
Yeah.
Okay. So when they went into the house, they went to Ryan, who was sleeping on the couch, and pulled out a gun, put him on the floor on his stomach, and then taped his hands behind his back.
Yeah.
And then where he was sleeping, there was a stash underneath of him.
Under the couch cushion, yeah.
Under the couch cushion. And then they stole that, and all three of them exited the home.
Correct, yeah.
Then when they exited the home, they went through Ryan's backyard to your backyard, hopping the fence.
They're hopping pretty much everybody on our street's fences, yeah.
Okay. And then you saw them going southbound on Main Street, which is your street, right?
Correct.
Okay. No gunshots were heard or fired?
She used the gun like aggressively, but no,
It was just
she didn't pull the trigger.
threatening.
Yeah, more of like a put it to his face and say like, "Where's the shit?" kind of stuff. Yeah,
Okay.
but no, she didn't fire.
Okay, and then you proceeded to call the police just after the incident at around 10 after 5 in the morning?
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Well, if I have any more questions, I'll be sure to contact you.
All right, thanks, officer. Appreciate it.
Thank you.